Oh, this is really good. All that. Shh! Quiet, please.
Hello class. Welcome to this week's filmmaking lesson. I might not be here at Loyalist College. I will go to Walt Disney World again to go to Liberty Square at Magic Kingdom and stayed at Disney's Boardwalk Inn. Before we get started, I wanted to tell you class that my sister Chio Sakura has been on Disney Plus recently. She has been watching Pooh's Grand Adventure, The Search for Christopher Robin 1997 film, Beauty and the Beast 30th Anniversary 1991 film, Alice in Wonderland 70th Anniversary 1951 film, Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure 20th Anniversary 2001 film and Aladdin 1992 film. You class did a great job on Aladdin 1992 film, Melody Time 1948 film and Saludos Amigos 1943 film. Alright. So first, we will be doing home video releases. On today, we will be doing Chasing Amy 1997 film. Here is the plot in this film. Holden McNeil and Banky Edwards are comic book artists and lifelong best friends. They meet fellow comic book artist Alyssa Jones at a comic book convention, where they are promoting their comic Bluntman and Chronic. Holden is immediately attracted to Alyssa, but soon learns that she is a lesbian. The two begin spending time together, and a deep friendship develops. Holden eventually confesses his love to Alyssa. She is initially angry with him, but that night, the two sleep together and begin a romantic relationship. This new development worsens the tension between Holden and Banky, as Banky resents Alyssa for coming between him and his best friend. Banky uncovers dirt on Alyssa's past, telling Holden that Alyssa once participated in a threesome with two men. Holden is upset by this, having believed that he was the only man Alyssa had ever slept with. Holden clumsily attempts to bait her into confessing, leading to an argument. She angrily confirms the threesome but refuses to apologize for her past sexual experiences. Alyssa says she wishes to continue their relationship but Holden leaves feeling unsure. Later, during lunch with Jay and Silent Bob reveals that he was once in a relationship similar to Holden's. Despite the fact that he was in love with his girlfriend, Amy, his anger about her adventurous sexual past led him to end the relationship. Later realizing that this was a mistake, he says he has spent every day since then chasing Amy, so to speak. Moved by Silent Bob's story, Holden devises a plan to fix both his relationship with Alyssa and his estranged friendship with Banky. He invites them both over and tells Alyssa that he would like to get over her past and remain her boyfriend. He also tells Banky that he realizes that Banky is gay and in love with Holden. Holden suggests a threesome. Though initially shocked, Banky agrees to participate, but Alyssa refuses, reasoning that it will not save their relationship, and that the proposal is offensive. Alyssa and Banky both leave. 1 year later, both Banky and Alyssa are busy promoting their own respective comics at a convention. It is revealed that Holden and Banky dissolved their partnership of Bluntman and Chronic, the rights to which Holden now exclusively owns. Banky smiles sadly at seeing Holden, who silently congratulates him for his success on his own solo comic. Banky gestures over to a booth hosted by Alyssa, and provides wordless encouragement to Holden to go talk to her. He has a brief emotional conversation with Alyssa, and gives her a copy of Chasing Amy, his new comic based on their relationship. After Holden leaves, Alyssa's new girlfriend arrives and asks who she was talking to. Smiling, Alyssa replies, "Oh, just some guy I knew." Alright. On tomorrow, we will be doing The Croods, a new age 2020 film. Here is the plot in this film. A flashback shows the death of Guy's parents when he was a kid. As they drown in tar, they tell him to find somewhere called Tomorrow. He goes on a long journey and meets a young Belt before taking him along for the ride. The Croods, along with Guy and their pets Chunky and Douglas, are still searching for a place to settle down, all the while surviving many dangerous creatures along the way. Grug is repeatedly annoyed at Deep and Guy's blossoming romance. As Grug walks off in anger, he soon comes across a giant wall and leads the whole pack to them. They are soon caught in a net and are released by the owners of the land, a couple called the Bettermans, Phil and Hope. The Bettermans welcome the Croods to their giant tree home as house guests, where they meet their daughter and Guy's old friend, Dawn, who immediately befriends Zeep. Life with the Bettermans becomes degrading for Grug due to the Bettermans soon reveal themselves to be better and evolved, believing that Guy is better off with them and hatch a scheme to get Guy to leave the Croods. Phil eventually takes Grug to his secret man cave, a sauna-like place behind some waterfalls, where he manipulates him into believing Guy should leave their pack. Eep and Dawn soon use Chunky to escape the land and jump their wall for a joyride that ends with a bee stinging Dawn and having her hand swell up. When Eep takes her back home, Guy, upon finding out, chides her for her recklessness, ending with him insensitively calling her a cave girl. At dinner, tensions rise between the parents, Guy and Eep, especially when Dawn's swelling is revealed. Having enough, the Croods decide to leave in the morning, but Guy decides to stay after he and Eep have a falling out. Soon, the land is attacked by punch monkeys with human-like strength on account of Grug and Yuga eating a bunch of bananas the Bettermans hoard around their land and have forbidden Grug from eating. Phil reveals he sends the punch monkeys the bananas every day so that they leave the Bettermans alone, and since Grug and Yuga ate them, the punch monkeys get upset and kidnap Grug, Phil, and Guy and take them to their homeland. As the men are taken, the Croods and the Bettermans rescue the men, but eventually get marooned on an island full of wolf spiders. During their time together, Hope soon grows to accept the Croods and eventually form a team called the Thunder Sisters, which was an old girl group Gran was in when she was younger, to mount a rescue, and in the process, Gran revealed that her hair was just an opossum, flying squirrel called a Wigasus. At the Punch Monkey home, Grug, Guy and Phil soon discover that Phil unintentionally deprived the punch monkeys of their water resource and that the punch monkeys need the bananas not only to eat, but to offer to a giant spiny mandrilla in hopes of appeasing it. The punch monkeys make Grug and Phil fight gladiator style to see who will be the sacrifice, and when they wear each other out, they exchange their bitter feelings with each other, making Guy regret what he said during his and Eep's fallout. Soon, the punch monkeys dress all three men as bananas to sacrifice to the giant spiny mandrilla. Grug and Phil apologize for their poor behavior and for putting pressure on Guy, but just as they are about to be eaten, the Thunder Sisters show up to rescue them. A long and perilous battle soon ends with Guy and Eep on a giant skull chandelier where they reconcile and soon use it to defeat the spiny mandrilla by using fire to cut the ropes and send it falling into the abyss below when it catches Eep's peanut toe, which she uses as a prosthetic limb, and pulls it off, allowing the families to escape. With their differences finally settled, the Bettermans allow the Croods to live in their land as neighbors, with Guy realizing that Eep is his tomorrow, and he and Eep soon move into one of the Bettermans' bedrooms together, which Grug approves of. The punch monkeys become their next door neighbors. Alright. On Wednesday, we will be doing Lady Sings the Blues 1972 film. Here is the plot in this film. In 1936 New York City, Billie Holiday is arrested on a drugs charge. In a flashback to 1928, Billie is working as a housekeeper in a brothel in Baltimore. When she returns to her aunt's house, she is home alone and is raped by a man who followed her home from the brothel. She runs away to her mother, who sets up a job cleaning for another brothel in the Harlem section of New York. The brothel is run by an arrogant, selfish owner who pays Billie very little money. Eventually, Billie tires of scrubbing floors and becomes a prostitute, but later quits and returns to a nightclub to unsuccessfully audition to become a showgirl. After Piano Man accompanies Billie when she sings All of Me, club owner Jerry books her as a singer in the show. Billie's debut begins unsuccessfully until Louis Mackay arrives and gives her a $50 tip. Billie takes the money and sings them their eyes. Billie takes a liking to Louis and begins a relationship with him. Eventually she is discovered by Harry and Rich Hanley, who sign her as a soloist for their southern tour in hopes of landing a radio network gig. During the tour, Billie witnesses the aftermath of the lynching of an African American man, which presses her to record the controversial song Strange Fruit. The harsh experiences on the tour result in Billie taking drugs which Harry supplies. One night when Billie is performing, Louis comes to see Billie. She collapses on stage. In her dressing room, Louis notices her needle marks, knows that she is doing drugs, and tells her she is going home with him. Billy promises to stay off the drugs if Louis stays with her. In New York, Reg and Louis arrange Billy's radio debut, but the station does not call her to sing. The radio sponsors, a soap company, object to her race. The group heads to Cafe Manhattan to drown their sorrows. Billy has too much to drink and asks Harry for drugs, saying that she does not want her family to know that the radio show upset her. He refuses and she throws her drink in his face. She is ready to leave, but Louis has arranged for her to sing at the cafe, a club where she once aspired to sing. She obliges with one song but refuses an encore, leaving the club in urgent need of a fix. Louis, suspicious that Billy has broken her promise, takes her back to his home but refuses to allow her access to the bathroom or her kit. She fights Louis for it, pulling a razor on him. Louis leaves her to shoot up, telling her he does not want her there when he returns. Billy returns to the Harlem nightclub, where her drug use intensifies until she hears of the death of her mother. Billy checks herself into a drug clinic, but because she cannot afford her treatment, the hospital secretly calls Louis, who comes to see her and agrees to pay her bills without her knowledge. Impressed with the initiative she has taken to straighten herself out, Louis proposes to her at the hospital. Just as things are looking up, Billy is arrested for possession of narcotics and removed from the clinic. In prison, Billy goes through crippling withdrawal. Louis brings the doctor from the hospital to treat her, but she is incoherent. He puts a ring on her finger to remind her of his promise to marry her. When she finishes her prison sentence, Billy returns home and tells her friends that she does not want to sing anymore. Billy marries Louis and pledges not to continue her career, but the lure of performing is too strong and she returns to singing with Louis as her manager. Unfortunately, her felony conviction has stripped her of her cabaret card, which would allow her to sing in NYC nightclubs. To restore public confidence and regain her license, Billy agrees to a cross-country tour. Billy's career takes off on the nightclub circuit. Louis leaves for New York to arrange a comeback performance for Billy at Carnegie Hall. Despondent at Louis' absence and the never-ending stream of venues, Billy asks Piano Man to pawn the ring Louis gave her in exchange for drugs. While they are high that evening, Piano Man's drug connections arrive. He neither pawned the ring nor paid for the drugs. Piano Man is killed by the dealers. Within the hour, Louis and her promoter call Billy with news that they got Carnegie Hall. Louis returns to find a very fragile Billy who is traumatized and has fallen back into drugs. Louis takes her back to New York. Billy plays to a packed house at Carnegie Hall. Her encore, God Bless the Child, is overlaid with newspaper clippings highlighting subsequent events. The concert fails to sway the commission to restore her license. Subsequent appeals are denied. She is later re-arrested on drug charges and finally dies when she is 44. Nevertheless, the Carnegie triumph is frozen in time. Alright. On Thursday, we will be doing the last Vermeer 2019 film. Here is the plot in this film. Here is the premise in this film. The Last Vermeer follows Dutch folk hero Han van Meegeren, Guy Pearce, who swindled millions of dollars from the Nazis by selling them forgeries of Johannes Vermeer paintings and is considered the most successful art forger of all time. Alright. On Friday, we will be doing Pump Up the Volume 1990 film. Here is the plot in this film. Mark Hunter, a high school student in a sleepy suburb of Phoenix, Arizona, starts an FM pirate radio station that broadcasts from the basement of his parents' house. Mark is a loner, an outsider, whose only outlet for his teenage angst and aggression is his unauthorized radio station. His pirate station's theme song is Everybody Knows by Leonard Cohen, and there are glimpses of cassettes by such alternative musicians as the Jesus and Mary Chain, Camper Van Beethoven, Primal Scream, Soundgarden, Ice-T, Bad Brains, Concrete Blonde, Henry Rollins, and the Pixies. By day, Mark is seen as a loner, who has to make extreme effort to be sociable around others. By night, he expresses his outsider views about what is wrong with American society. When he speaks his mind about what is going on at his school and in the community, more and more of his fellow students tune in to hear his show. Nobody knows the true identity of Hard Harry or Happy Harry Hardon, as Mark refers to himself, until Nora De Niro, a fellow student, tracks him down and confronts him the day after a student named Malcolm commits suicide after Harry attempts to reason with him. The radio show becomes increasingly popular and influential after Harry confronts the suicide head-on, exhorting his listeners to do something about their problems instead of surrendering to them through suicide. At the crescendo of his yield speech, an overachieving student named Paige Woodward, who has been a constant listener, jams her various medals and accolades into a microwave and turns it on. She then sits, watching the awards cook until the microwave explodes, injuring her. While this is happening, other students act out in cathartic release. Eventually, the radio show causes so much trouble in the community that the FCC is called in to investigate. During the fracas, it is revealed that the school's principal has been expelling problem students, namely, students with below average standardized test scores, in an effort to boost the district's test scores while still keeping their names on the rolls, a criminal offense, in order to retain government funding. Realizing he has started something huge, Mark decides it is up to him to end it. He dismantles his radio station and attaches it to his mother's old Jeep, creating a mobile transmitter so his position can't be triangulated. Pursued by the police and the FCC, Nora drives the Jeep around while Mark broadcasts. The harmonizer he uses to disguise his voice breaks, and with no time left to fix it, Mark decides to broadcast his final message as himself. They finally drive up to the crowd of protesting students, and Mark tells them that the world belongs to them and that they should make their own future. The police step in and arrest Mark and Nora. As they are taken away, Mark reminds the students to talk hard. As the film ends, the voices of other students, and even one of the teachers, speak as intros for their own independent stations, which can be heard broadcasting across the country. Alright. Also on Friday, we will be doing Redemption Day 2021 film. Here is the plot in this film. Unfortunately, there is no plot. It has no details. Alright. Also on Friday, we will be doing Scooby-Doo the Sword and the Scoob 2021 film. Here is the plot in this film. Again, there is no plot. It has no details. Alright. That's all the home video releases we got. So second, we will be doing TV series over home video releases. We will continue on Walt Disney Treasures Silly Symphony series. On today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we will be doing Ferdinand the Bull, the Grasshopper and the Ants, the Big Bad Wolf, the Three Little Wolves and the Pied Piper. Alright. That's all the TV series over home video releases we got. So third, we will be doing Monkey Pictures and Roman Cow Productions and Donkey Teeth Company shorts. It is about Tom and Jerry Fine Feathered Friend 1942. Do you know what Fine Feathered Friend means? It means that Jerry flees from Tom by hiding with the chicken family. How delicious! The chicken makes me eat for dinner whenever Tom tries to eat. Alright. That's all the shorts we got. So fourth, we will be doing Samsung Galaxy S21. The story continues when Mai goes out to Loyalist College. She has lost one of her boots she gets. Sonofutaba has an idea that she will buy boots for Mai and Mai can stay at Loyalist College residence until the Loyalist College gets the late information. Sonofutaba finally reveals the boots she gets for drying off the snow she had. Mai puts the boots on, Mai likes it. Tsukuyo Imon watches the time, it's already been late. Mai manages to go to Loyalist College and getting her late information. When Tsukuyo Imon reveals that classes has already been there for hours when Mai never shows up. Sonofutaba goes to class with Tsukuyo Imon and Mai. She had problems with English if she has to. Tsukuyo Imon whispers at Mai what was the problem. Mai whispers back at Tsukuyo Imon that she has English words that has never been like this. Sonofutaba whispers that it was revealed to be the long word for William Shakespeare play. Tsukuyo Imon solves the problem to Mai. The class ended and Mai gets her boots and she has never take them off. Mai watches Non-Biori non-stop anime on Adult Swim Canadian television channel. She goes to Super Mario Bros. Ontario, Canada by Virail and Mai and Sonofutaba and Tsukuyo Imon had their own hotel to stay for comfort in Popstar. Gaston shows up on TV again to reveal that Beatrice was the only one to get married to Gaston, but Mai refuses to listen and Sanafutaba turns off the TV and goes to sleep with Sanafutaba and Tsukuyoemon. Alright. That's all we got for today, let's do some work now.
Alright, let's do some work now. Hello guys. Hi. 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 Oh gosh, you're all here. Anyway, let's go to Magic Kingdom to go to Disney's to Frontierland, then we'll go to stay at Disney's Boardwalk Inn, okay? Okay, good. Good. Good.